So, another day, another Kasmina list. Let's see how it goes, huh? We got Heart of Koran, and then a bunch of Planeswalker friends here to pair with Heart as well as Kasmina. We've got some Rowanus the Indomitable as a great card to crew this with and be indestructible against. And then we've got a bunch of really decent 1-drops to ramp us up into our 3-drops ahead of curve. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this. We've played Sultai Kasmina, we've played Temur Kasmina. Let's give Bant Kasmina a try here and kind of get the full smorgasbord range of what this Planeswalker can pair with. At Arena, I have 28 mythics, only 1 rare wild card. Yes, the #1 sign that you are a small fish in the Arena Ocean is that you have too many mythics and not enough rares. When you're something of a large sea creature like myself, the inverse becomes true. Hundreds of rare wild cards, very few mythics. I think the average Wellspring deck these days is Niv Mizzet. Could obviously be a food deck, though, still, too. I wonder if, with this draw, I'm supposed to go tapped land and maybe set this up, but I don't have guaranteed 3rd green. Thanks for the follow, Loop. Welcome to the channel this afternoon. Yeah, Valorous Stance is an interesting one. I played this one a lot when it was in Standard. It's got a good range, can protect your stuff from sweepers, and also is interactive against other people's threats. Yeah, it killed a lot of Siege Gang. Siege Rhinos, for sure. As always, my generic comment on the Magic Arena economy when it comes up is all of this various suggestions people make would be lovely to have, but no, none of them are ever going to happen, chat. Magic Arena makes gobbles of money as is. They have zero incentive to change or improve things. It is what it is, and it isn't going to change. Slightly above average K command. Do I get Teferi down and give them a turn with Klothys? I think so. My hand's pretty mediocre at the moment. Gets this ticking up here too.
I'll think of something.
You would be worried about Arena's long-term health if they got more player-friendly. On the off chance that's not ironic, I'm gonna go ahead and time you out. Well, I'm gonna discourage you. Well, I'm gonna discourage you for hoping for things that aren't going to happen. I'd also heavily discourage you from, you know, getting down on your knees and licking the boots of the corporate overlords. They're not gonna do you any favors, chat, but like, come on. Papa Hasbro's not gonna love you more just because you want to defend their shitty business practices. We can call a spade and say, hey, this ain't gonna change without, you know.
My past is catching up.
Without doing that. Alright, so I think we Love Struck into Love Struck. But Jeff, they put Dorito cheese dust on the boots so they taste good. The actual answer, Archivist, is we don't really have a good metric to know objectively that a more consumer-friendly model would be strictly better or strictly worse. There's some reality that by pricing things cheaper and more friendly, they stand to make more money by bringing in more customers, but they're also profitable as is. They don't really have incentive to change things and rock the boat. It's adorable. Impulse to find Niv. Okay, so if they jam Niv next turn, we can Dromcom. That's unfortunate. We can Dromcom fight the Rowanist, make them sacrifice the Klothys. I can't make them sacrifice an enchantment right now because Binding's in play, obviously. So you need to wait till that one gets out of here before we can take the Klothys out of play. I'm going to put a counter on my 1/1 here, so this way I can target it with Rowanist's ability to be able to attack with Rowanist. And I think we're dead at this point, right? They're going to play this and gas up. Alright, I was distracted by this picture, so you all have to be distracted by it too. For a moment. This is a picture of Haley's first Oreo. Just that pure look of joy, because Oreos are delicious, chat. Look at how happy she is. Cookies. Cookies. Alright, what are we doing here? No adult will ever be that happy. Ain't that the truth? Just pure, unadulterated joy. Not sponsored by Nabisco, but definitely could be. Alright, so Aether Gust sounds good to tempo their various Dorkos. Honestly, Valorous Stance might be okay to keep in here, right? It kills Niv and it can protect one of our own threats. Maybe we just trim some of the mana creatures. We bring in the Nissas as a beatdown card advantage at the top end. Is shifting Ceratops. Tomorrow is Haley's first birthday, chat. She's going to be 1 year old. He survived an entire pandemic to get to 1. This could be a Ceratops matchup, but I don't know that I really have any cuts that I love. Oh, March was just last month. Big mood. Maybe Vivian's not that good. Is Knight better than Command? No, Command kills Klothys. And Klothys is a card we really can't reasonably race. Well, Asian's not very good, but it's a keep. Hoping to draw something to enable our Godfriend here. What's going on, Grimmelden? Thanks for the 19 months. Good morning. Almost afternoon here in the cornfields. Oops. I'll stand up for a little bit. Hand sucks. I'll keep. Ain't nobody got time to mulligan, chat.
There's not too many apocalypses to let us think fast.
Looking for something to enable our god here.
Time to improvise.
I think I'll ditch the stance because Dromoka's command can let this kill a Niv. I want to keep the 5th land because if we draw Nissa, I want to be able to cast her. Okay, that lets me attack with Rowanus this turn, which is great. The bee's knees, thanks for the Prime support. Welcome to the channel this afternoon. You remember when Dovin was a good card in Standard? I don't think that was ever really true, right? Yeah, good's a bit of a stretch. We cast this card a lot on this stream when it was Standard legal, but... yeah, it was splashed in mono white's a little bit of top end. It's definitely something that I recall happening and existing. Come on, play a Niv. Do it. Dovin ultimates relatively quickly with Kasmina, chat.
Let's add this battle to your record of battle. These contraptions have their uses.
Dunk dunk. Speaking of ultimating quickly. This list looks like some jank. That's a good descriptor, Zach. Listen, Dovin's trying his hardest, okay? What? I'm so confused what's in their hand right now that was a concession. Okay, do you like Shifty Boy over this, though? We had lethal on board. Oh, we did technically, didn't we? The Dovin down tick into double pump let Rowanus attack. It's a good catch. Very true. Sand seems pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, curving right on out the door. Missing blue mana, but decent green-white deck here. My body is ready to get K-commanded again. It's gonna hurt so good, chat. Don't do it. Don't play a black source. Have a heart. Mercy. Teamer Triome into blue-red land. Not the greatest mana base start for the opponent. We will get a little bit of a freebie here because our mana's clunky. Modern was great. Modern. With the Time Warp ban, between Jeskai Control and Historic and the quality of the games in Modern is creeping up as my favorite Magic format for sure. It's been good. Sure, so you're saying the only time free-to-play games make themselves cheaper is because they're already planning to end-of-life the game. And they're just trying to squeeze a couple of bucks with them on the way out the door. I don't think that's a realistic future for Magic Arena, though. Like, Magic Arena is definitely here to stay. Shifty boys continuing to look excellent. So, untapped land is lethal here. Yeah, a lot of people like to draw what I would consider to be bad faith comparisons between Magic Arena and Magic Duels. But like, Magic Duels never had the full Magic rules engine on it. It only ever had not full Magic. And that's such an important distinguishing difference. Do we cast Shifty Boy, or do we play 2 elves? I think it's elves. They chose to bottom a Deafening Clarion. Well, the elves have to both die to not cast Shifting Ceratops next turn, right? Hey, John, thanks for the 27 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Oh, wow, I punted here. So, if I would have crewed the heart in response, I could have blocked, right? And now they get to Helix the Ceratops. Yeah, I think we're just dead, Chip. Oh, it didn't matter. It did not matter. Yikes. Yikes! Woof. Alright, don't go anywhere because I've got plenty more magic coming up here at this deck still, but I need to run to the restroom and fill my water bottle back up really quick, so I'll be back in just a minute. BRB. Look at that. 2 seconds left on the 60-second ad roll. Exactly a minute was perfect. It's for the 16 months target. Top 5 ways to fill your water bottle during the stream. I just use the faucet in the bathroom, so it's quick. There's slightly better filtered water if I go all the way upstairs, but that's a long walk. It means the stream has to be delayed longer. this Niv Mizzet, this Niv Mizzet deck is, does it have a good Jeskai matchup? It's been pretty popular today. Imagine having potable tap water. We actually don't have potable tap water really by default. You could technically drink it, but you shouldn't. I mentioned on a recent stream we had a whole house water filtration system installed somewhat recently. There's two taps upstairs that have I think it's called reverse osmosis or some fancy word for it, but basically the water that comes out of those is like distilled bottled water. It's real fancy like. Interested to see how this matchup goes the second time. The last one, we did not feel particularly competitive against this Niv Mizzet deck. They kept up with our creatures fairly easily and then put us in the ground as the game went along with card advantage. Yeah, that was Gazni. That's why we ended up, like, the tap water in the town where I live was bad enough that my wife, Christy, didn't drink it ever. So, like, we were going through so much plastic bottled water that I was like, let's just spend the money and get the system installed in the house so we can stop contributing to so much plastic use. Hello, oldest son. Thank you for bringing me lunch. I appreciate you. I think we crew this off of her because if they want to try and helix her, I have Dromoka's command.
Worrying turn of events.
All right, so Ceratops, Nissa, Gust, Dovin out, Goose out. Just trim around the edges here and try this. Leave the Vivians in. We just play Mammoth on 2 here, right? But this won't be able to attack next turn if I want to play Vivian. Yeah. I feel like there's actually been more, like, anti-Gandalf decks like this Niv deck than actual Gandalf, which is typical. Like, the important thing to remember is that, like, the last event we had where Phoenix was 35% of the format, that's pretty extreme and not indicative of what you're going to interact with on the ladder, right? These non-rotating formats tend to have such a wide range of things that people play that even, you know, when there's a pretty de facto best deck, it's only going to be like 1 in 10. 1 in 10 matches, if that, a lot of the time.
This'll be fun to watch.
Alright, we just need a friend to pair with this. And I still can't view my current sideboard, right? This is my original sideboard. Oh, well, that's a step up, I guess. It now shows me... It now shows me the what's it called? Cards. It's like, why can't I cast my thing? I was in the browser, but still. Okay, and then I think we...
Are you willing to do whatever it
-5 here, making a 5/5.
takes?
See if we get to attack or not. We do not. Fractals can't swim, apparently.
We're fit enough to survive.
Yeah, Vivian giving Rowan his trample is no joke. They're dead on board, right?
Everything is
Thunk thunk. Any game the third. Vivian could be better as Garrick. Maybe. I don't know, the 1/1 counters on Rowanist seemed pretty delicious there. I'm not ready to write her off just yet.
is a key.
So now the question is, I don't think I want her to die to Helix. So I think we just pass rather than checking for 4 here.
I'll see you after
Do I have a
that.
favorite magic artist? No.
Dark days lie ahead.
Yeah, but like, dead to a second Helix means we got a 2 for 1.
Fast.
So that's fine.
Oof, now wait just a minute.
Oh, I did forget to crew hard again. Need to remember that. I missed that in the last deck we were playing too. They should be 3 lower. If I had played better, they'd be 3 lower. So I could have killed my Planeswalker response.
Don't worry, I'll think of something.
Thank you for pointing that out again. Things I should learn to remember.
We will
Guess I
not
can swim, which is
The land
nice.
fights for us.
Ideas like seconds.
The land drowning in the lake is an allegory for global warming. Big mood.
Think fast. I don't have time for this.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
I think we're just casting Land War Elves here. Let's loot first, I guess.
Ideas like seconds.
Alright. JK, LOL. Yeah, to say this play leaves them dead on board because Teferi phases that out, and we make a 5/5 and a 4/4. They needed to steal our heart there. They're probably still pretty far behind regardless, but definitely should have taken heart. For sure. There's a bunch of empty snack boxes on the floor underneath me that I need to clean up, but I found one that had one treat left in it. Need to clean out my office, chat.
impressed anyone would be so foolish as to face me. I don't enjoy seeing things suffer, but I'll make an exception for you.
So we'll murder this one, so they don't get a thing. And then we can do this into this.
Nature will take back what
Put some
rightfully
counters on here. Open.
stomping time.
Next turn, this can shoot this theoretically.
Get 'em.
Feel like we're probably dead here.
This is just a small example of my genius.
I'd have to venture to guess this is a bad matchup for us. There must not be much control on the ladder. Or at least not that this person's playing against. Maybe they have some kind of technology they figure out that's good against control, because the Bant Angels deck is pretty rough into control in my experience. And we basically don't have any cards that make us better here, huh? These mid-range decks just kind of get devoured by these tribal strategies. You have to either be racing or sweeping the tribal decks usually. You don't beat the Angels deck by blocking them. You have to be able to actually kill their threats that matter. Have a good one, Maxime. I was Team of Friends. It was sweet. Had a really nice aggressive slant to it. The Double Strike Planeswalker actually performed pretty well, Smoot. It low expectations going in, it definitely exceeded them. One of the things that's definitely felt a little bit rough about this deck that we're currently playing is that it has kind of typical Mana Dork deck problems in that we need to play enough lands to cast our 3-color spells consistently, but we're also playing 8 mana creatures. So the deck has this kind of awkward problem where we like simultaneously have too many lands and not enough lands at the same time. We have 4 mana Teferi as a way to provide some selection, but it's just not quite as cheap as something like Royal Scions and helping to mitigate that. 4 is a lot more than 3. Could be an okay spot here. Heart of Korean was a great draw. You're also going to accrue this. It's lethal next turn. Valor's stance looked really good in this game. Oh! Oh, I could have done that. Yeah, good call. Sorry, champ. That card had one mode in my head. Yeah, we totally could have saved Love Struck Beast and then killed them, right? Good catch. Modern was great. Shaping up to be a very reasonable format, it feels like. If you like crappy Snapcaster Bolt decks, you should definitely watch the video set from this morning. So Ceratops and Nissa in, trim the mana dorks to kind of mitigate some of that too many lands, not enough lands. Because you can see here, we're on 24 lands. So even with this, I'm still on 28 mana sources. Dromcom's probably a little mediocre here. How is its ability better than simply draw one? Is casting Anticipate better than simply drawing one? Is casting Impulse better than drawing one? Selection is really good. Another thing to consider too with the Gonti comparison is that in the Gandalf matchups, you're probably drawing their card advantage, so it's going to turn into more card advantage. And in the non-Gandalf matchups and the creature matchups, it has Death Touch. So its floor is just very high, regardless of what type of matchup you're playing. It's likely doing something that's useful for you. Solid start here. Kerchunk. Yeah, I think we're in for Vivian. She can put 2 counters on the princess and through the heart.
With the Arcbow at my side, I can't lose a fight.
Sag. At least they had to do it before we pulled the counter off of the Vivian. That play was a little bit odd from the opponent.
I will teach you how to handle the difficult choices.
That's probably great, huh? Make a 4/4.
My, how you've grown.
So down to 2. Yeah, Jeffrey sounds great. Do you want me to phase you out of time? Grixis and conceding with 6 cards in hand. Name a more iconic duo. Okay, yep. Nice. This lets us go Elf into Heart plus Lovestruck Beast. He's dead, Jim. You've murdered him. You happy with yourself? Heart of Korean, maybe, I wonder if I'm supposed to board out Heart of Korean in this matchup because they're a K-Command deck. I can see that being the case. God bless the Thoughtseize bug, chat. God bless the Thoughtseize bug.
Dangerous to leave unfettered.
A random's probably better than a land. Where did the iconic duo meme originate from? I don't know. I feel like that's an old one. Hearthstone decided to ban a card in their non-rotating format rather than adjust it across all formats. That's interesting. That's definitely a real thing as these games mature. Most digital card games don't really live long enough to have non-rotating formats implemented, right? Like, most digital card games rebalance, but Hearthstone's one of the few that survived long enough to, like, have rebalancing be a thing that they can consider.
You're wasting your potential.
Oh, man. Well, that was a good draw. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to board... the hearts out because of K-Command.
I was there. I am Death's master.
Yeah, could have won game 1 there with better use of Valorous stance, and definitely was not sideboarded correctly. Should trim the hearts, I think. Our opponent's either really unlucky or are about to play against Tybalt Trickery. Just unlucky it is. Hey, Fred the Third. Thanks for the 32 months. Welcome back. It's keeping me around. You took my mammoth, eh?
I teach is a key to many doors.
Okay, bottom net looking for a land. Could be right to keep because we can go Goose Heart next turn. Cascading Cataracts, Mind Stone. Okay. Sometimes Twitch has a bug with audio processing. Try refreshing your stream. It gets a little disjointed. Brainstorm, Thoughtseize, Ramp. I will say, while it's been interesting to see how the banning of the Time Warp deck has pushed this format in a greedy direction anecdotally from our ladder experience. Just not only Jeskai control, but Grixis and 5-color Niv, just lots of people this morning feeling like they're trying to go over the top of each other and outgreed. Definitely feels like an arms race type situation. Okay. Assume we're gonna lose the elf here. Maybe they take the mammoth again if they can kill the elf. Could take Ruinous. They don't have an answer to that. They take the elf, we'll play the mammoth on one as a land. Shifty boy, eh? Crack my fetch land proactively in my brainstorm deck. It's a choice. Decisions were made. There were definitely choices executed in terms of sequencing on the other side of the board. There's the part where the extinction event me next turn and we die. Well, you know.
Do not cross me. A valuable addition.
Alright, game 3 on the plate. What's going on, Unreal Me? Thanks for the half a year. Yeah, Modern was good this morning. This deck's been kind of middling. The Temur Planeswalker deck we played before, this was very reasonable. This deck definitely has an aggressive slant to it, similar to Temur Planeswalker decks that we've played, but I don't know that it's just as good as the the red splash ones at being aggressive. Things like Glorybringer and Scions go a long way towards letting you close games out. Okay. Peace was never an option for the Goose chat. Not even a consideration. So I think we love Struck Beast on 3 to then set up to Nissa on 4, he says, before getting Thought Seized. Goodbye, friend. Next turn, we can Shifty with haste at least. And then the nice part there is Shifting Ceratops and Lovestruck Beast have different converted mana costs, so Extinction Event doesn't get both of them. Jackalope, thanks for the 2 months. Yeah, there isn't, kid. Yeah, and that's true about Scions too, for sure, is they help fill 2 different roles where they help you filter in the late game, but they also give your mana dorks a bit of a purpose. You ready to get the deck list we just played? Yeah, type exclamation point decks in chat for all of our arena decks. Find my untapped profile page with the previous Samut list on it. And obviously that deck list will also be in the video description when the YouTube video goes up tonight. The way they massacred my boy chat, I'll give him reach and protest. Crunch, crunch.
Say hello to my little friend.
Take my free point at the Karn, crack them for 5.
My retribution will be swift.
The retribution shall be swift. Hey, Jackalope, thanks for re-upping. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. What you got, opponent? They're on Extinction Event. They haven't just windmilled it yet. Okay.
I will fight for my friends.
I think we just run back the same line, only we can give this trample this turn. Or did I just miss lethal? I've also missed lethal a couple of times. Yeah.
If you stop.
I'm gonna hold on to these for post sweeper just in case. This hitting them was lethal, assuming they didn't have something like a fatal push, and if they did, they would have used it, so.
Awaken.
Awaken. Okay.
Our actions, the evil cannot withstand a righteous arm.
Afternoon, Y sticks. Yeah, looks like we're not gonna get punished for my mistake last turn. They should be dead here. the Destroyer. Hey, nice spike, Dev. Hope you're enjoying your laddering experience. Gosh, this hand is so good if this was an untapped land. I think the elf means we can keep it. We did. We played Blue Moon this morning and it was excellent. Every stream this week will be starting with a modern deck. It's gonna be live Sunday through Wednesday. I gotta take Thursday and Friday off. We're gonna do 4 modern decks this week. Alright, well, could be worse. Hey, thanks for the 20 months, Cap. Good afternoon. Can you explain what Madness is? Madness is an effect that lets you cast the spell if you discard it from your hand. Thanks for the 2 months, Spike. Maybe I was supposed to play this last turn in the event that I drew a green land like this. Because if I would have played this tapped, I could have shocked this in and gone Elf plus Lovestruck Beast. And now, like, they can take the Lovestruck Beast out of my hand. Yeah, it's actually a pretty big mistake, huh? I wasn't using this land this turn regardless of what I drew. So if, like, I played this tapped and I didn't draw this, I'd just go Elf, played this tapped this turn. This matchup's tough. Yeah, and I mean, Lovestruck Beast is probably one of our better cards in it, so, like, feels bad to punt that one into the wind. I'd have had a 1/1 that could have blocked their Gutter Bones there, and then this would have been in an adventure, so it couldn't have gotten discarded. Scavenging Ooze. Don't really have any other decent tools here, huh? None of the rest of these are particularly exciting. Skews can eat their recursive value cards out of the bin at least. I put a 4th Shifting Ceratops in, kid. Is there a code for public or just the download? Using the link that I have to install the app should automatically get you credit. It should get you $10 in free stocks, as well as referral bonus on my part. So thanks for checking them out. I think we just drop Kaz here, try and get scrying towards some lands.
The future is what we make it.
Heart of Korean blocks at least, I suppose. Third Vivian is really not what we're looking for here, believe it or not. Third land will do, though. So I know these can come back, but they don't come back for a little bit. We can alleviate some of the pressure with a block. That's good.
I have other students.
She's dead. So I get to play this on green And then we get to make a food and play Vivian next turn, but I don't really have an answer in sight to this Knight of the Ebon Legion, huh? I guess I can trade Vivian for it next turn. Yeah, let's just accept that I'm never going to remember to use Heart to kill my Planeswalkers. It's just not an intuitive line.
Oh, I am gonna love tearing
I guess we're doing this.
I'm made for conflicts like this. You picked the wrong fight. I think I'm gonna be done with this one. I'm glad we got a chance to try this. We hadn't tried Kasmina in with white cards, but I feel like if I were to try and take another crack at this white splash build, at a minimum, I would cut the geese with what's it called? We're at 24 plus 3 creature lands plus 4 of these even. There's just so much mana that we had so many games where we just like flooded out and couldn't really do anything. And Teferi provides some selection, but he's just a lot worse at it than Royal Scions. And Royal Scions also are good at making our smaller creatures more aggressive. I felt like I kind of liked this less than both the Sultai and Temur variations. The Temur build was better at being aggressive, and the Sultai variations that we've played a little bit of are much better at being controlling and going long. This one kind of felt like it was waffling in the middle kind of unsuccessfully, and it could definitely be a metagame thing too. Like I mentioned, the format's pretty controlling right now, with Jeskai being one of the top decks we queued up into a lot of other miscellaneous control decks. We're looking to go over the top of that, and generally speaking, from a game theory perspective, mid-range decks tend to struggle into control-heavy fields because they just go bigger than what these decks are able to do. So, glad we tried it, but overall was definitely a bit of a miss to me compared to the other Kasmina builds that we've built and played with. All right, at any rate, that's going to wrap up on Magic